Ba-ding! Specially charged up my speakers so they went ba-ding this morning. Howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. It is not very chill outside right now. It is getting pretty warm, and in fact, last night, oh boy, heat-related insomnia. I have a fan on in the window blowing air in from outside. I have a fan at the foot of my bed blowing air upward from my feet upward. I have my feet uncovered by blankets, and I was still too warm. It's gonna be a great summer. Hopefully you were able to sleep though. Still front-loading your videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be awesome. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be very cool. If you could leave me a comment, that'd be double plus good. And even though I can't, I forgot to change the names this morning. My sincere apologies. I can't put up the names of my Patreon patrons up on the screen the way I would like, but here are still 4 people that are Patreon patrons. Thank you, each and every one of you. You help to keep me and my aging pet surviving. I do appreciate that very, very much. If you would like to help keep me and my aging pet metabolizing, I have links to the Patreon, that's the word, in the video description, along with a PayPal for possible donations and an Amazon wishlist link that I have not been able to update yet because of my executive dysfunction and all the stress related to my leg. And so, with front-loading of videos over, I'm going to talk about my leg now, along with the whole heat-related stuff, because, oh boy, yeah, I was just, from 2 o'clock on, I have been just tossing and turning in bed. I've been awake. Oh, so that's been great. And I have just, when I started to get moving, because I was just 6 o'clock, time to get up, I can't lay here anymore, I was on my back, kicking blankets away so that I could get them all pushed up. Just the sheer movement of that, I could feel my upper thigh muscles saying, oh, is it time to cramp yet? We're ready. So I knew I wasn't even going to be able to. Normally, what I would do would be to pull up my legs by my hands and feet, put on my socks, and then stretch them out while I'm sitting on my bed. Can't do that. That causes my right leg muscle to cramp up. This morning I wasn't even going to try because I knew my left leg was going to do that. Luckily, I'm still limber enough. I sit on the side of my bed and then I can just go all the way down to my feet, put my socks over my toes, and then sit back up and then just squinch my foot into the sock, lift up my foot, and then just squinch it like this until it's in, and then I reach down and pull it up my leg. Otherwise, if I lift my leg up, my inner right thigh muscle is going to cramp horrifically. So I had to do everything that way. Sitting on the side of my bed, getting everything on my lower body so that I didn't cramp up. And just one shirt because even with my window open, it's still too warm today. Thumbs up for that. So, yeah, near cramping from heat, and I imagine it's also the neuropathy that I have in my legs. I have these I'm still healing from my last fall that I took. I had mentioned before that with my neuropathy, sometimes my legs don't do what I want them to. I can be out walking and my body's telling my legs lift, swing, drop. And then you push, lift, swing, drop. And my legs just generally say, okay, we're doing it, and send that message off to the brain, and they do it. Sometimes my leg goes, okay, we're going to do it, lifts, comes forward halfway, and then spikes that toe right down into the ground hard. And then forward I go. And then crash and bang. I thought I had slammed my leg into something while I was out walking. I have gone past that area several times looking for what I might have tripped over. I think it was another case of I was a-walking, got halfway through it, and spiked my toe right into the ground so hard that, again, pitched forward. Thumbs up for that. At least, though, as I've noticed, when I fall, I don't try to stop myself like this. Every time I have fallen, I have thrown out this hand and then thrown out my arm like this. So I am not even trying to stop myself from hitting the ground. I'm just setting myself up to roll. Thumbs up. Hopefully I won't be doing too much more of that in the future, but you never know. Yay! And yeah, my leg is much, much more tender this morning. Oh boy. It's not as swollen, but in the morning, it never really is, because I've been lying down and your fluid squidges out through your whole body instead of being dragged down into your lower extremities, by gravity. Oh, God, all of a sudden my body has just decided to be organic. So my body is slowly having fluid drain down into my lower extremities. I got my support stockings on. Here's a thing with the way that I am. I bought this container here. It was on sale, clearance up at Walmart, so it was cheap. It is a 28-ounce container. And so you're supposed to drink this twice a day. This marks it from, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. with a refill thing down there at the bottom. And if we go with the you shouldn't drink more than 2 liters in a day, this is slightly less than 2 liters. If you drink it twice, it's like 800 and some odd milliliters. And so if you drink it twice, that's like less than 2 liters, and you shouldn't be drinking more than that in a day. But, oh my God, just looking at this, I feel thirsty already. I've already had like 2 or 3 glasses of water, and I am still thirsty now. One of the issues that I have, though, and why I actually need to drink a little bit more than just this amount, is because I used to take powerful diuretics because of the swelling in my lower extremities. I used to, 20 years back, get cellulitis so bad it literally burned out the lymph system in my lower extremities. And your lymph system is part and parcel of moving fluids through your system. So if your lymph system, which gets fluids moving out of your lower extremities, gets burned out, it's not going to be moving fluids out of your lower extremities. My left leg used to swell up so bad. I mean, my foot was just like a little meat pumpkin at the end of my leg. Over the past 20 years, my lymph system has slowly healed. Up until this last year, I could sometimes go all day and then put on my stockings around 5 or 6, and while it wasn't great, it wasn't terrible, nowhere near what it had been just decades back. This leg is horrific again, just like it used to be. Now the thing is, because I used to take diuretics, when you are taking a diuretic, you have to take in water to get rid of water. And if you need to get rid of water, which is what a diuretic does, then you need to get rid of the fluid in your system, which means you got to drink water to get rid of the water. So because I swell up in my lower legs, and while I do not have prescription diuretics anymore, I couldn't afford them, so I just stopped taking them as my legs slowly got better. I do take the 200 milligram caffeine tablets several times a day. Caffeine is a diuretic. It does drain fluids out of your body, and if you take 200 milligrams all at once, like I do, guess what? The fluid starts draining out of your body. And if you want to keep the fluids draining, you got to drink more. So I have a feeling that I'm going to have to, by necessity, drink more than this, because I have found out through experience. In the hospital, I foolishly tried that. One day, when I was in there because of cellulitis and my leg was swollen, and they were starting me on the diuretics again because they didn't while I was there. Joy. On the days that I drank extra, I drained out a lot of fluids and my leg looked really better slowly. And on days when I didn't drink much, no water left. So I gotta drink extra to get rid of the extra fluid in my system. Oh, the laptop's powering up again. The fans will power up while I'm playing games. Some games I'm absolutely afraid to play. If I play games like Astroneer on this laptop, it sounds like it's a prop plane trying to take off. I am scared of that. There are some other games where they'll turn on, but not super powerful as they're playing. I don't know how to blow the dust out of a laptop. On my desktop over there, every 3 or 4 months, I have to physically take it apart and use my air compressor to blow all the dust out so that it doesn't burn out. I mean, right now it's dead, so we'll see what happens there. But I don't know how to blow the dust out of a laptop. I can't open this thing up to make sure it's good. So yay. But checking the rest of my list here, yes. Oh, this was just a real quick aside. I have a little cardboard container that I'm keeping all the little meal containers in. This one's an energy one, but it's called Green Thunder. I squeezed it into a glass and then forgot that I hadn't filled it with water and drank it. So that when I got back to it, it was like, oh, look, I left this much still in the glass. And I tipped it into my mouth. And pure, straight, unadulterated Mio, right out of the container. Oh my God. I had to just hold it in my mouth while I quickly filled a glass with water and then drank that to dilute it. Oh my God. It was just overwhelming. Don't drink straight energy or even just flavoring stuff. And then, I do want to talk about this one real quick because it really annoyed me. I was, checking my time, watching a video where a person was reacting to another video. It was one of the reactionary alt-right, everything that's not conservative is bad thing. But they were going over and talking about how horrible this one cartoon for kids is. And so much of what they say, I mean, once you think about it for 30 seconds, you can hear just the blatant racism in it. As he was going through and talking about it, it was like, oh, there's a dumb character. Of course it's male. That's woke. Oh, but the dumb characters, they're all white males. That's woke. So, okay, woke means a male character is dumb. But they also say that smart women, or any women, is also woke. And black people as main characters is woke. And LGBTQ plus characters just existing, that's all woke. So the only thing that's not woke for these people is if all the characters are straight white males, which leaves all the bad guys as either people of color or women who are people of color. Now, if you don't see the problem here, where all the good guys are white males that are fighting off all the bad things that are people of color, this is a problem. Yeah, it's anything they don't like is woke, and anything that, once again, it's from a position of privilege. Equality feels like oppression. When you've gone from 100% white male representation in media to giving up 2%, so it's only 98%, and everybody else gets that 2%, oh, that feels like oppression from a feeling of privilege. So yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with having someone who's a non-white male character as a lead. You don't have to be straight white male to be good. And gay, lesbian, transsexual people are not woke. Existing is not woke. But then right now for the right wing, again, woke means nothing because it's anything they don't like. They call climate change woke. Now remember, there are people like Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro tried to define woke as acknowledging in any way, shape, or form that there is systemic racism. So how is climate change talk woke? Because it affects primarily poor people. And talking about poor people is woke. So you can't talk about climate change because it's woke. Because it affects poor people, and it's insane. It's anything they don't like. Thank goodness so far, on every poll taken, even Republicans and the MAGA hard hats, faithfuls are getting tired of this anti-woke stuff. And so far, everybody in the majority is like, woke is a good thing. So, yay? But the last thing I want to talk about, I guess, here, taking a look on my list of all sorts of things, is, just cosmic horrors and such like that. Really quick, trying to remember here. I've talked about Hoki and Drame and the Draylands, and there's a lot about the Draylands, and I'll have to come back to that. I've spent a lot of time following my subconscious on that. I want to real quick mention just some of the other characters that are the cosmic horrors, like Asatarasi, who does not go by that name any longer, checking my time again. Asatarasi goes by Satyr. If we could perceive them, they would look like a gigantic centipede-like creature, except with a more humanoid type head that's still insectile, etc., that sort of thing. But it is a giant centipede-like creature. Every one of the cosmic horrors has a defining moment that brings them into maturity. Hoki's was understanding that he and they and their siblings were not the end-all and be-all. There were others out there that are important as well. Understanding that others exist and are meaningful brought them to maturity. Asatarasi discovered, that there was a race of beings in a universe that literally were able to use just machines and their intelligence to match and master all of these power levels of you are Gokura, one step up you are Gakire, little predator, another step up you're Gakiri, predator, another step up Gakiru, you are an armored predator. Gakira used to be a category of most powerful. Dread Amaterasu is so powerful a being that the Gakira now means only her as a title and an honorific. Nobody else can become the Gakira. She has warped reality by being that strong. Trying to remember now. Yes, so these beings, with their just intelligence machines, were actually able to achieve a state of being Gakira. And if they had chosen, they could have stepped out of their universe with their intelligence and their machines, excuse me, and they could have strode across the multiverse as gods, powerful enough to take on and defeat even Amaterasu's children, not Amaterasu herself, but her children. And instead, these beings gathered up all of their information, set it into an area, put entropy-defying machines throughout their universe, and then, because they had achieved all that they had wanted, as a species, laid down and died. And when Asatarasi found them, 60% of all that they had stored was lost. But of that 40%, they were amazed at just how wonderful a species they were. Their art, their theology, their philosophy, their sciences were amazing and beautiful. Of course, it helped that as a species they looked like Satyr, but still, it was this defining moment when Asatarasi, who, in the language of these people, their name translates to Satyr, now goes by Satyr as an honor to this lost race. They gathered up. God, I am really stuck on just the English that I learned as a child right now, instead of the English that I have been deliberately speaking for some time. My apologies. They have been gathering up things like this ever since and storing it in museums. Frequently, they will just come down and stare into all of the knowledge and art and philosophy and theology that this race of beings that he has taken his interpretation of his name from, and just think about them, what they were like, who they were. They were smart and strong and philosophical enough to challenge even Asa Tarasi. And they chose to simply let it all go and die because they had achieved everything that they had wished. And this made such an impression upon Asa Tarasi, that was their defining moment. And they have thus since been collecting these things of civilizations they can find. Not for anyone else, just for themselves, but still. End of open up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. It's never many, and right now today it's even less than normal, but anything more than zero was awesome. Thank you, each and every one of you. You get me out of my head, into the world, and dealing with real people. So let me call up my browser here so I can read. I got to take off my glasses. We have Jesse Koskinen. Good to see you in the comments. It's real lit. I am glad that you had fun here in very wet Western Washington. J-A-Y-Y, thumbs up, good to see you. Flora Mew, thumbs up, thank you very much. And that was good information on the dry skin, because hokey smokes, I am so dry, it's insane. Nexor EH, greatly appreciated, thumbs up, thank you. And yeah, that's a good game. You should play that, Old Fartenstein. It is worth it. And I am very sorry that you still have to deal with all of the issues that go with every single one of your conditions. My sincere apologies. I wish I had a magic button I could press for everyone I know. We have Catherine Auber, thumbs up, thank you. And yeah, I want to go back to reactions, but I've been dealing with so much. Right now I can't. Falling Angel, thumbs up and thank you. RJ Mitchell, greatly appreciated, and here's a hoping things get better. And that is it. Thumbs up, thank you, each and every one of you. Get me out of my head, into the world, and dealing with real people, as stated. Thumbs up. Okay, time to put my glasses back on. So, today, I'm going to be taking it easy. My leg, as stated, it's more tender, it was more red, it's not as massively swollen, but it starts off not that way. We'll have to see how it goes as the day goes by. I have the feeling I'm going to be back in the hospital at the ER by this weekend, but here's hoping not. I had been feeling better with so much energy. I've been getting drained again. Thumbs up. Still though, from 2011, there was a solo RPG called Dungeon Solo with one expansion. Dragonfang Mountains. I want to play that for the channel. Hopefully today I can do that. So thumbs up, and here's a hoping. Still, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing. And once again, I'm going to be using my original PlayStation 4 controller from like 2015, I think. I have bought a couple of the, let's see if I can get it over here, 10-foot USB cables with an adapter so I can plug it into my PlayStation and not have to try and stick within 2 feet of it with a tiny cord. So these help. Still though, oh yeah, I gotta use this to turn things off. I forgot. Yeah, yeah, I should edit these endings out so that they don't just do this. Oh look, or listen, my laptop again.